evening, Free Enterprise fans and rando heads. We are here on Randomania Prime for yet another Magma route match. Got a little bit of 1-0 action here between McBain and penguin8r, each trying to secure their place at the table, the next phase of the tournament. Tonight, I am invenerable. I'm invenerable most nights, and here with me in the booth is Pixel-Tamer. Pixel-Tamer, how's it going?
Going pretty well. How are you?
Doing just fine. Little background here. We have a Ground Flyer tackling the restream, Micro Korgs doing the tracking, and and I'm liking those fake objectives.
Yeah, I am particular to the cake.
I think I'd like to see how Kakol rocks out with the Twin Harp. The pan tennis lessons, I mean, that'll get you, like, that's not skipping arm day whatsoever, right?
I thought we were all about leg day here.
Yeah, you know, you have to make exceptions now and again. But yeah, got a pretty good match going on here. Real objectives, we got Twin Tails and Twin Harps.
Maybe we'll see a bunch of twin magic this game.
Well, with that edge start, we won't have to be relying on it in the early game at least. Very potent to have him right out the gate. Can tear through most of the overworld. Really gives you a wide variety of routing options. Pixel-Tamer, when you've gotten an edge right out the gate, where do you like to go first?
I usually still hop by Mysidia to grab the free characters, just so I have some idea of what I'm working with, and then I will just go ahead and start clearing out any overworld objectives I have. I've been starting to get into that habit of baiting Fabul until later. That seems to be getting popular in the metagame, and it seems like it actually might be a good idea. I'm learning.
Gotcha. But yeah, so penguin8r and McBain here, each 1-0, went 2-1 back in the group stages. penguin8r, notably, is the reigning Threemus Zone champion. Won last year's finale, but has taken a loss, has bled a little bit already to Baka Shinobi here. McBain, kind of a new name on the scene, but hey, 3 wins already to only 1 loss over the entire course of this tournament thus far. If anyone's gonna show us a little more Newt weakness, it may be McBain.
Yeah, and it's great to see all these new faces coming out for this event. Love how much the community's been growing this year.
Oh yeah, with the success of the Football Gauntlet and then Threemus Zone 3 here, getting more registrants than I think any of the prior ones, even when we did huge group qualifier races, I think overall this is the most registrants we have had, so pretty spicy, and I'm looking to see some new blood on the scene and how they kick all our butts.
Yeah, just shy of 120 people, I think.
Yeah, 116 was the original. A few drops, but still hitting those triple digits, growing year after year. You'd love to see it.
And we're looking like we're just about ready to get going. So, who are you hoping to see as the partner character, and what kind of key item are you hoping to get your hands on?
You know, Rosa's always the dream. Just you have White Mage already sorted out. Rydia is interesting here, depending on what. Okay, well, Rat Tail won't have to hunt that. Rydia's always a mixed bag. It depends on how early you can find a really good summon for her. Or, barring that, if you don't have an edge for your strong melee, maybe you get a Dragon Whip, Heroine Robe combo somewhere, and you have this level 1 summoner destroying everything in her path.
That's true. She's a versatile character, and one of her big advantages, especially in this flag set, is her early access to the warp spell.
Oh yeah, we do have that warp glitch on if and when we make it underground. You always hate to forget that. You go through Dwarf Castle, you're like, oh no, I've forgotten. I've made a huge mistake. Yeah, just a Rat Tail doesn't offer us anything yet. penguin8r here making sure not to overlook a hidden Mist Dragon.
And McBain heading up into Mysidia, gonna see who those 3 characters are. We see a Mylon Z and Edward, and we get a Kane. Not bad in Mysidia.
Oh, Kane's great here. If we do find an early Valvalis at a rude spot, maybe like back attack on Ordeals, to where even Edge is having trouble cutting through that evasion, well, you got jump now. Problem solved. Things that are heading
in the Watery Pass.
Yeah, so there is a White Mage for the team. May not have the extreme, the faster HP and earlier endgame spells of Rosa, but does get exit naturally and gets a relatively fast burst, which, if I have an edge on my team, I like a relatively fast Berserk spell.
Oh yeah, he is so fast, he's going to get 2 or 3 turns for everybody else in the overworld once he's Berserked.
Big Bomb there, giving a nice little J item for one of the other characters on the team to throw, and Edge isn't carving everything through and through. And a little kind of high-five action.
Penguin8r taking a play that I've really liked is going and checking the back of the watery pass using the airship instead of running all the way through.
And a Moonveil for the first chest in there, a very spicy find. Moonveil, one of those J items that was dummied out of the United States version, well, the Western version, I should say. And that means, well, one, if you want to reflect for twice as long as a Starveil, great. You have all the reflect you want. But more importantly, barrier status for an entire fight. You will not take physical damage as long as you don't die from other things.
Yes, make several bosses free, and that could be very relevant in certain nasty spots like, I don't know, CPU or Bahamut.
Yeah, all those places where everything gets to punch you for like 2,000 damage a wallop, that's HP that we don't quite have to spare just yet.
Well, we might soon with that Sid.
Sid, not bad. If we didn't have Edge, he's a very reliable way to tackle the overworld sooner, just because he comes with a big HP pool, decent weaponry, can actually, you know, just pound his way through things with that hammer fairly early. Edge is going to basically be doing everything he does, but better for now, though. And, you know, we saw some excitement in chat regarding the Thunderclaw, but Leviathan is not going to be on the menu today, so that's one fewer boss where you really want that lightning damage. Wonder if we're going to see Odin, of course, a notable one, rear its ugly head. Not so. Sometimes you really want that that damage multiplier. Plenty of places to still take advantage of it.
And there's our Tella.
And McBain resetting out, not wanting that Tele yet. You probably don't really need him just yet with this team. Blink is great, but we have both an Edge and a Sid to take care of just soaking up that physical damage in the overworld.
But that second utility caster could also be very relevant, getting extra source of Berserk for your fighters.
Oh yeah, I'm a huge fan of Tella. But there's also something to be said here for not going up ordeals if you can help it. If you can avoid putting Tella or Cecil into your team, the mountain doesn't hold a lot of really, you know, big improvement for your team unless it's absolutely required.
Yeah, it's good for a Threemus hunt, I suppose.
Oh yeah, with the 3 bosses. Chat pointing out that there was a rune axe in one of the first chests here in Antlion Cave. Kind of the top damage axe, still has relatively low accuracy, but notably, ×4 damage versus mages, Maga Sisters, Asura. Any of those, you can dunk on mercilessly with a rune axe. Love to
mention Mad Ogres.
Also very nice. We see here the you know, I forgot the name of the flag, but it's the one that gives Hobbs flag. Instead of learning Fire 1, Radio learns a random mid-tier summon, and got Indra this time for even more lightning sweeping kind of damage.
And I think the Hobbs flag is a default flag now, and there's a vanilla Hobbs flag instead now.
Yeah. Rydia doesn't quite have the MP to cast it yet, but, you know, still can come in very handy. We were just talking about all the things you want to do lightning damage to.
Such as that Dr. Luge over on McBain's side. I believe the second phase counts as a machine?
Yeah, it actually does, but here's where Final Fantasy IV plays nasty tricks on you. The robot racial type and the lightning weakness are 2 separate things. But most weapons that are lightning-based, not all, but most, also do bonus damage to robots. But lightning magic does not in and of itself.
This game is excellently programmed.
I mean, I get why they're trying to distinguish things there. Like, I mean, Sid's hammers all do bonus damage to robots, but none of them are lightning damage. It's just, yeah, it's funny.
Yes, and also this is an old game, early SNES. We can't be too hard on it. It's let us do a bunch of fun shenanigans.
And we did not get a key item from Outline, just a crystal bracelet, a pretty decent piece of gear. Gives you immunity to certain really annoying status effects, including Charm and Paralyze. Gives you +5 agility if you need to resituate your team to do arcane agility manipulation and get through a nasty fight. And really great magic, defense, and evade.
A little bit of shopping as we head into the football defense.
Yep. Penguin8r just gonna be... Penguin8r will be right behind McBain here. Took the opportunity to get that Hob summon, which McBain didn't bother with. So, telling a little behind, but it's super early in the seed.
Hey, there's a turtle.
Turtle! Weak to ice when it doesn't have water. Weak to lightning when it does. Here, though, the Edge and the Sid are really just gonna chomp through its HP with physical attack.
Edge says, I don't care about your elemental weaknesses, I have 2 katanas.
The Bacon asking, do the runners have to fight the Dark Elf spot, or can they simply break the spell with a Twin Harp and leave Cave Magnus? They actually do have to fight the Dark Elf spot on this flag set. Although there are 2 different objectives in the game, for one, break the spell, and the second one, complete Cave Magnus, they're functionally the same unless you're playing with the 2020 April Fool's Day flag. You want to explain a little bit more about that, Pixel?
Sure, so the April Fool's flag this year is push B to jump. It does exactly what it says on the tin. You push B on the overworld, you jump a tile. You push B in combat, you can jump like Kane. This allows a lot of shenanigans.
Yeah, so although the Dark Elf tries to lock you in, you can break his spell, jump over the barrier put in place, and just run off with your ill-gotten gains.
And speaking of ill-gotten gains, we've got a Luca key over on McBain's side from completing the football defense.
An item that on this flag set doesn't have too much benefit unless you have a real cheeky hidden Mist Dragon, because we have the Warp Glitch flag enabled. What's that do?
Warp Glitch. The way the Warp spell works in this game is basically it sends you to the last room you were in. The Crystal Room in Dwarf Castle and the room in Sealed Cave that has the crystal are considered the same room for this purpose. So after you've completed Dwarf Castle and are in the throne room again, you can immediately cast Warp, head back into the Crystal Room, and claim the key item that you would normally get from the Sealed Cave.
Yeah, so although in future rounds, if our racers want that item, they have to go through the entire ordeal of the Sealed Cave. And this flag set, just make sure you have a Warper. Get Iridia to level, what, 8? Get a Callum to level 29. Have a Tella who's been through ordeals. You got options, you got choices. But the overworld here kind of resisting giving our racers a way to get underground. It's looking like ordeals may end up being the play after all. McBain's going to try one final option here, the Baron Inn. Dark Knight at the start, trying to get those dark waves off, but only 400 HP. We're not going to let him hit us 3 times. Once is quite enough.
Ha ha ha!
Well, you know what that means. With the safety set of the boss flag, so we have randomized bosses, but there are certain bosses that cannot gate your only way underground. Golbez is one of them. So ordeals looking to be required here.
That's right, unless we've got our cheeky Mist Dragon at the first spot on the Tower of Zots.
Ugh.
That happened to me in a seed I was practicing on, actually. I full cleared everything, including Cave Magnus, and eventually said, okay, it's gotta be Zot, and then there was the Magma key behind Mist.
Yep. Now, it is possible, because there are 2 different ways underground, that this could still be the Magma key, and then we'd know a hook is gated by ordeals. But not the logical way underground, but could still be the better option. And yeah, chat talking a little bit about Penguin8r's menuing. Yeah, penguin8r holds one of the top times of the vanilla speedruns, and that is so intensely about learning the route and perfecting your menuing that it does not shock me to see that cursor flying super fast through his menus here. We'll be getting the same rude surprise, though, that McBain's dealing with here.
Yeah, as I recall, the magic power of this spot is not very high, so as long as Porum doesn't fall over, she should be able to heal the edge through this.
Like, let's see, that virus coming out for 190. Yeah, you probably don't want to let Golbez do all the work on his own. You should probably help him out here. And yeah, Ground Flyer has rolled us a seed where both the Sons of Cluia are trying to stop you. They're just having a nice lunch out, and you had to interrupt them.
Scala KDR artly pointing out that Sassuolo doesn't have to be a cool big sprite. You could fix that if you wanted to.
Yeah, we could have like a Dark Knight D-Nightomus Z sprite with like big, scary, creepy Dark Knight version.
Yes, D-Nightomus, I love it.
Not to be confused with DK Mus, who is just Donkey Kong. Oh, it's in... Okay, never mind. It's already there!
Ah, Painimus. Okay, that is acceptable.
Pianomus? I'm not scared of pianos. But Alright, McBain has taken down the Golbez. Gets the Sand Ruby. I don't think anyone even looked at... has anyone even gone to Kaipo?
I don't think anybody has gone to Kaipo.
I don't think anyone's going to go to Kaipo either. I got a feeling about this.
Yeah, Kaipo, an out-of-the-way check with the desert preventing you from letting the airship right next to it. And with the starter kit, you're not as desperate to do the early shopping.
So... I mean, you know, there could be like a second edge there. There could be a Rosa, and you want to swap out your Rydia. There are definitely options, but I still think we see both our racers fly directly to ordeals after this. You know, your team's already really strong, and against this kind of opponent, you don't want to hesitate.
Yeah, the runners in the Magma route are nothing to be sneezed at. McBain picking up the Sylph Summon, which is a great source of damage and healing in the early game. And once your Rydia is at a certain point, you can just do it every turn without consequence.
Yeah, we do have the Sylph glitch enabled. Vanilla, like most people knew in Vanilla, that casting the Sylph spell didn't cost you MP past a certain point. Free Enterprise and Zima Zone 2, we had a few more realizations about the true extent of how it operates in Vanilla, including the fact that if for some reason your Dwarf Castle character is not Rydia, it will set that character's MP to Rydia's when she casts the Sylph Summon. Also does some weird stuff with Odin, but even the Sylph Glitch flag, it doesn't include all those shenanigans. That's a little too far a road.
Yeah, it's just a nice piece of early game shenanigans.
So neck and neck here, penguin8r not far behind, has cleared the Baron in, gotten that Sand Ruby of Sadness. Well, we don't have to go to Kaipo to get Rosa, do we?
We do not. And getting rid of second Kane for that. Keeping the Forum.
I can appreciate this. It's kind of hard to get two of the same character properly outfitted. You really have to hope for good loot drops from either your key item checks or from where you're actually opening chests. So I don't mind it. You got to keep Rydia around. Your Porum is already well on our way to Berserk, and we'll learn Exit. If anything, I'd probably consider changing out Rydia after Dwarf Castle.
Agreed. The one thing I will say is that I think Kane has the most diversity in weapons he can equip in the game, so he would probably be easier to equip than most if you had a duplicate.
Oh yeah, that's true. He gets access to a ton of swords. He gets access to axes, in fact.
Yes, swords, lances, axes, knives, but nobody really uses knives other than Mute Knife.
Yeah. He does not get bows, though, which Cecil does get, and Cecil does get Holy Sword, so they're kind of, like, even on that front. But, yeah, definitely a wide variety. Penguin8r are going to be disappointed in this Rosa when he finds second Rosa on the mountainside. But I can't fault that. See a Rosa, take a Rosa.
Yeah, we've got Nope Rope.
You know, not the worst place for Nope Rope. This spot has one of the lowest physical attacks in the game. So although it does use the obnoxious HP percentage-based big waves, it won't be hitting us for any impressive follow-ups afterwards, at least.
Yeah, and Self is a fun piece of tech here. Like every magic attack, it will be countered with Blaze, which I think is 20% of your maximum health. But Self is going to heal for more than that, so it'll keep the party up.
Yeah. And it's also just outright really good damage for where McBain is here in the early game. And boom, one boss down. Penguin8r finds the 1200 HP strat starter kit, both vampires and Starveils here in Silvera.
I should probably learn those strats at some point.
And just wing it.
Did that with Eddie strats once, didn't go so well.
For what it's worth, the 1200 HP strats are much faster and honestly a fair bit more accessible and less nerve-wracking as well than Eddie strats. I would actually recommend learning them before Eddie strats if you get the chance.
Alrighty. We've got a water Haggett spot too, that's pretty free.
Oh yeah. I mean, we knew we couldn't see anything too hard up here, unless, like you said, barring a D-mist at Magus Sisters, this has to be our route underground. So you're not going to see Valvalis here, you're not going to see Wyvern here. Not that Wyvern is bad here at this spot anymore. So yeah, not unexpected. I just realized Water Hag is an anagram of Great Hat.
That is not something I clued into.
Okay, if I win the tournament, I'm getting a Water Hag put in the Z pool wearing like some kind of real like snazzy like silk hat. And it's gonna be called Great Hat Omus. Okay. Yeah, that and the biscuit. That's all I want in Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise.
Chat pointing out that there is no W in Great Hat. You might have to rethink that plan.
Oh no! Crud. Look,
and there's our hook.
Great Hat. Yeah. Well, Hook's a double-edged sword here. So Hook is required for objectives 2 and 4, which lets them go ahead and take care of trading away the rat tail. But the Hook route to get underground is far nastier than just opening up the Agrid Mountain and flying in. So I'm here for it.
Yeah, but you've got an edge. You've got 2 Berserk casters. It's not going to be the worst getting underground.
Yeah, I doubled up on the T. Oh no, it could be Great Wah. Give it a Waluigi mustache. There we go.
Do we have Waluigi must yet?
I'm just saying there are options here, and we need to explore the design space.
Yes. Scala says we have Waluigi must.
So from here, the path pretty clear. The only thing I could see McBain still remaining to do in the overworld would be maybe... Did we see long blades for Self or Edge in any of the weapon shops?
Did not notice any. But what we could do is pick up that Tella and then have an easy time of looting Evelyn Castle and Evelyn Cave, thanks to the mini spell.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Both decent options. Although, you know, we do have access to that Evelyn item shop now, which has what, 2 tier 5 utility items in it.
I believe that is correct.
So we may be finding hourglasses outright.
Got tail into Bahamut. McBain is rewarded for doing that early.
Spicy. Both our racers are holding on to that Rydia for the sake of the warp spell, and they are about to have her online in a big way as soon as they turn in this this rat tail. So 22 minutes, headed down the hook route, not so bad. We didn't really get waylaid by a bunch of excessive overworld checks that culminated in nothing.
We see some looting going on McBain's side, immediately finding the stalemate chest.
It's actually super convenient. I love finding it this early. It means you know you can loot the rest of the cave with impunity.
There's so much good stuff to find here. What's the usual tier of items down here? I know it's a little higher than other overworld spots.
No, I couldn't tell you exactly. There are spreadsheets and wiki entries, and I just know there's a lot of it, and there's only one trap chest to deal with.
Bahamut making quick work of these stalemates.
Yeah, in a lot of situations, even with like Edge on the team, you'll just reset out of this fight, just because the time versus the reward isn't great. But if you got Iridia, who knows Bahamut, you're not that scared anymore. Protector Ring, great find as well. Halves the 3 basic elemental damages, gives you a big vitality boost, great defense and magic defense. Just a wonderful piece of gear for anyone, especially your casters. Ooh. And we do see those Hourglass 2s here.
Yeah, those are all kinds of great. And life potions to go with them, too.
Elixirs at a reasonable price these days. 30,000 instead of the old, like, I believe 100,000 they were, perhaps?
Something like that. Still not going to buy them.
Yeah.
There's too many other useful utility items to get for that money.
I would have liked to have seen, like, an assertion of dominance in the form of selling that Protect Ring outright. Be like, no, I'm good. I want Hourglasses.
That would be a bold play.
Yeah, chat. Some folks in chat asking about how magic skills, if any magic is based off your spell power, you take the relevant spell power, divide it by 4, and take the floor of that and add 1. And that's how many rolls of the spell you get. So, as Iridia's levels increase and her wisdom stat increases, the Bahamut damage, or also even just the gear you have, the Bahamut spell does continue to get more and more rolls of damage added to it.
Oh, and we've got a free fight here at the Rubicon spot.
Oh yeah, even if we hadn't bought those Hourglasses, Rydia's Toad spell, which she already knows, works just fine on them. No shortage of ways to deal with this in a hurry. Although, I wonder, did we see an Odin summon earlier that folks may have sold?
I don't remember. But we've got the Hourglasses, that's the important thing.
Yeah, the Hourglass takes care of it, Toad would take care of it, Odin would take care of it sometimes. But Bahamut to clean it up. There's 1,000 ways through here when you're on a T-Wildish.
Penguin8r is resetting out of the trap chest.
So, not going to be getting a Protect Ring for his trouble.
50 save on McBain's side.
Kind of implies that McBain is going to be bothering with the Mad Ogre chest.
Oh yeah, great XP for this part of the game.
I'm always a little torn, though, if I see a boss as free as the Dark Imps. Just because, I mean, could just life glitch them, get their XP. But, of course, there's always the prospect of something super nasty at that King-Queen up spot, ready to just chomp down on the entire team. So an impressively close race this far. Admittedly, the distribution of key items hasn't really created a situation that where much divergence was permitted. And hook routes always kind of funnel you down the same path.
Yeah, we get a Sorcerer's Robe from the vanilla Mad Ogre spot.
Very nice piece of gear, +5 to both black and white magic stats.
And Murasame for edge, very powerful sword, but it does decrease his agility slightly.
Yeah, Penguin8r are going to be grabbing the same sword right here from this trio of chests. Again, it's so nice to get those Stelmen on one of the first 2 chests, just because you get to run through here the first time without having to do any kind of backtracking. But it's looking like our Mad Ogres are in the the real obnoxious.
Yeah, right in the bottom of the upper babble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done this a couple times, just running down there without saving, and confuse commentators from time to time. It's like, is Pixel going down there to fight the boss without a save?
I do like this fight even more, given that we have the edge. We can steal Bacchus wines. They're probably for sale in one of the underground item shops, but grabbing a few just in case, not bad at all.
Yeah. Yeah, the Japanese steel tables coming in with version 4.0, right? Has been really nice.
Yeah. Although, it doesn't look like he's getting any before the Dragon Lord comes out and bops them all with the big breath.
Did not know Bahamut would work on them, but I guess the spell power of that Bahamut is just so high it pierces through their magic defense.
It absolutely. Bahamut even gets through most enemies that get the magic defense at the Dark Elf spot. It's super strong. The only place it's not going to work for you are places where Valvalis spin gives her 255 magic defense, which just gives you spell immunity outright. But anywhere she even has like the 254 almost immune, all your other spells do 1, Bahamut and Nuke will still get a few thousand damage out of her. And not saving, deciding a Moonveil, well, we could probably risk that. We do see Odin here.
Oh, this is risky. This is fast. Has good physical attack. That lightning weakness might be the difference, though. We've got that Indra summon. Oh, McBain does not have that Indra summon.
Yeah, but does have burst. I think McBain's going to be fine here. I do love that Penguin8r has kept that Eddie around. I don't know if he's keeping him in case of a super speedy go mode with an early pass into Zeromus, or if he was thinking along the lines of Odin, maybe at another nasty spot, like in Fey March, to be able to do the swag kill strats on.
What is the swag kill for Odin? Is that the one where you hit him with lightning on the third Zantetsuken and he just dies?
Right. You have a brief window after he raises his sword on the 3rd hit, but before he queues up the Zantetsuken, where a lightning zap will get you the kill. And McBain making it through, no need to save. I think they're actually taking a wipe here, having to rearrange the team, going for a slightly different setup this time. Burning one of those Moonveils now. Penguin8r's entire strategy here seems to be, I must cast Bahamut, and is very intent on getting that off, but the party's so slow, it's going to be hard to get back around to Iridia.
Well, we got there, and, you know, the worst kind of Moonveil is the Moonveil you never use.
Yeah. Well, the other thing, though, is that Bahamut does have a pretty slow cast time. Okay, there it goes. Is it enough?
Just barely.
Yeah,
that was a hit-point spot, right?
Yeah, so would have been 24 short, but we had already done a little bit of chip damage, so gets through. Good use of the Moonveil just to make sure it worked the second time. and no fear of this fight for pretty obvious reasons.
Yeah, I assume penguin8r picked up some hourglasses as well.
He did. Uh-oh. Is bored AI going to throw an hourglass away? Okay, did not. But McBain, between the hourglass and that Bahamut summon, is leading the way here, heading underground. penguin8r's time loss, basically the amount of time it took him to pick up that Rosa in up in Kaipo.
Yeah, McBain is not checking the boss upper babble.
That's a more subtle thing that, like, the more you play, like, you can, those little bits of knowledge, you know, that you may not realize you can snag, eventually, you know, everyone gets on board with it.
Right.
Or they just forget because they're so excited they're underground on the hook route before the 33-minute mark.
Oh yeah, this is a really fast access to underground.
Still have to find either both halves of the Excalibur, the Pink Tail, and or 2 of 3, the Twin Harp. Not to mention actual Zeromus access, so a long way to go yet, but it is still pretty cool to see a hook route completed around the 33-34 minute mark for not just one, but both racers.
We've got an export agent for Job Dwarf, so this seed is validated.
A little more shopping. These gated shops tend to have slightly better gear. Heroine robe if you're in a Quint Zirkin kind of mood. Now, wait, did McBain just completely ignore the weapon shop there?
I think he might have.
I mean,
No,
you do have the one... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, we've got coffins in the shop here in Tamra.
Oh yeah, very handy. I was thinking, we have the one Murasame, but the backup weapon on Edge isn't, you know, necessarily sparking joy, depending on who you're fighting. And McBain seeming to be fading the freebies, heading right for Dwarf Castle.
Penguin just checking the weapon shop. We see some full moons, some light swords, ninja swords. This is a good shop.
Oh yeah, the full moon will let you back row glitch. The ninja blade makes a great companion piece.
Yeah, arguably better than the Murasame is something I've noticed coming up in discussion lately.
Oh yeah, the stat adjustments with the ninja sword gives bonus strength. The Murasame gives a penalty to agility. And so there are certain thresholds where you cost yourself a multiplier if you're using the Murasame. Elements here at the Vanilla Dolls location. This is actually a pretty great spot for... Normally when you fight elements, you like to have some big bada booms to reflect on them so you don't have to deal with subsequent phases. But this spot's really great for this team, because Edge is going to tear through them so quickly that they're going to be so busy changing forms that they don't really get to do a whole lot of their signature attacks.
Yeah, the Fire 3s and the glares from Rubicon could be a problem, but I have a feeling we're about to go into Kainat set 4. Yep.
And I am second-guessing myself. I'm going to go check some Katana stats while we're seeing what awaits us here in the next part of Dwarf Castle.
Sure.
Aha, yes. Ninja Blade, +5 strength. Murasame, also +5 strength, but -5 agility. Masamune, +3 agility. but the damage is higher enough to usually make up the difference.
Yeah, and we've got Valgalis as the second boss here, and our third gain of the seed.
Wait. It's deja vu all over again.
How so?
Well, no, I guess we didn't see her. Well, no. Did we see her form? No, the Bahamut came out. Sorry.
Yeah,
I was looking up Ninja Swords.
Yeah, I think Bahamut just wiped out from the Kainatsu form.
That's funny. She's like, don't forget me! I'm here too! I like it. And penguin8r still holding on to this Edward. Curiouser and curiouser. I'm wondering what he has in store for that Eddie.
While our runners are neck and neck, we can quickly run over tomorrow's races as we sit through this cutscene. 6 p.m. Eastern Time on Free Enterprise, we've got Pizza versus Jeebus. 7 o'clock on Randomania, we've got Euphoric Lemon versus Saftrish. Hope I pronounced that correctly. 8:30 p.m., we've got Zyrak versus Rumblefish. And then at midnight, we have Frankie Bones versus Plumeria Knight.
Ooh, some spicy matchups tomorrow. I'm real excited about that Pizza Jeebus match.
Yeah, and Warp Glitch reveals the Darkness Crystal.
And the Darkness Crystal actually already in Logic, thanks to that Luca key. I'm sure our racers are very thankful they didn't need to fight through the cave and the boss there to get it.
It's always nice to get value out of Warp Glitch. And there's our Legend Sword.
So that's half of another objective, but, you know, unless our freebies turn up something down here, I'm a little excited at the prospect of having to do some moon checks to complete the seed.
Which has not been super common this tournament, has it?
No, when you include the variety of objectives and just generally the fuzzy logic that board uses to populate key item spots, the moon is quite a bit of a gamble. And now, so we noticed that McBain didn't peek. Did you see if penguin8r peeked the lower Babel boss on his way down?
I did not, unfortunately.
I was distracted as well. Hopefully our trackers got us covered. The doll! So easy peasy fight at that spot. Yet another thing that one dose of Bahamut mops up forthwith. We still have 2 freebies hanging. Got the rat tail chest in the Feymarch, and then whatever Sheila 1 holds.
Yeah, hopefully our runners do Rat Tail Chest first. It would be unpleasant if you went and did Sheila 1 only to find the pan sitting in Feymarch.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and here we go. It's almost like there's a logic, like there's a general reasonable path to follow.
Like we're watching good players, maybe.
Yep. Now, penguin8r here did not do some additional looting that McBain did, and we are back neck and neck. I wonder if they both stop looting on the 3rd floor, just because of the risk of a...
Of the draft chest?
Yeah. Well, at least they did not get the temptation of the one that you literally touch while walking through. And penguin8r is seemingly done with looting this seed. Like, no, unless it's on my path, I'm not worried about it. I'm not walking down to those spots before.
Exciting.
Well, we did see heroin ropes or sell, so...
It's true. We could turn that Palom into that Borum into an archer.
Yeah. You just want more Zerkitude in your life. I do see that Full Moon and Ninja Blade still not having been thrown on that edge yet.
Could be waiting to do all the equipping at once. That's something I'm really bad about. Is I'll do an area, then I'll equip things, then I'll go do more looting, and I'm probably just trying to save some time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Here we go. It's like, oh yeah, here. Let me equip this.
Did we already point out the Bacchus wines that McBain just found?
No, but yeah, Bacchus wines for sale, so making up a little bit, because I don't think McBain managed to steal one before Iridia obliterated those Mad Ogres earlier. So Bacchus wine for both, but we're also rocking 2 white mages, so there's a lot of angry fighters if you choose to have them.
And it looks like Rosa might be getting set up for archery on McBain's side. I saw that Artemis bow getting equipped.
Ooh, spicy. Big bonuses to physical stats, huge penalties to spell casting. Also, I think McBain did buy a heroine robe earlier.
Ooh, we've got a Dark Elf at the rest spots.
That one's doable. You do not want a piece of that antline.
No, not with this physical party.
No. The Dark Elf's not so bad. After it transforms, you can throw one of those hourglasses to freeze the Dark Dragon form in place, and then it's free the rest of the way. That antlion, you look tasty.
Yeah, that spot, it's gonna come in pretty fast.
And penguin8r is opting to walk out. I could have sworn that he had a... No, he doesn't have the Porum, right? Or am I mistaken? Am I confused with his party comp?
Not 100% sure. I have been a little bit distracted tonight, unfortunately.
Gotcha. Yeah, no source of exit definitely makes things a little awkward, especially if, we kind of hinted at this, the possibility of having to dive our way down to the lunar core to find either part of that forge, to find the pink tail, to find the twin harp, things of that nature. And
having to exit all the way out is time consuming.
Yeah, and if not, the question is, do you try to hunt for the exit door items? Ugh. Walking out is definitely not happy times.
For a second I thought McBain was gonna... Oh, wait, we've already done ordeals. Never mind. We're just gonna go check Sheila.
Yeah, a little faster to fly south from there. Okay, and our tracker microcore is confirming has Edward instead of Porum. That's the key difference there. Sheila 1 with the goods. What do we get?
Tower key's pretty good.
Yeah. I definitely pursue that before I go moon. Especially penguin8r, who knows it's completely free boss at the Lugae spot.
Question from chat. We've got somebody who's new to this race format. What are our players trying to do?
Alright, so in Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise, you have to complete some series of objectives to get your crystal, and then you have to get access to Threemus to actually, fight them and win. Different flags may have different options. On this flag set for this tournament, you have to do 3 of those 4 objectives you see listed in the middle of the screen. So Free Enterprise opens you up with the airship and what is likely a key item. And you can go around the world recruiting your party, going into locations as they become available to you. And you, Eventually,
right,
you complete 3 of those objectives, you get a crystal, and then you also need, talk about Threemus access a little bit.
Sure. One other thing I'll add is that 3 of these objectives are randomized. The only objective that is consistent between races in this tournament is the first one, forging the Legend Sword with the Adamant to produce Excalibur.
Yeah.
So as far as Threemus access goes, there's 2 ways to get to him. First is the traditional way. You get the Darkness Crystal, you raise the big whale, and you work your way down the lunar subterranean. The second way is to find the pass. In vanilla, this will let you get to a dancing show in Troy, I believe. But in the randomizer, we've changed it so that the door the pass unlocks instead contains a warp straight to Threemus.
Curious, by the way. So we mentioned a moment ago how penguin8r doesn't have a source of exit. McBain just got rid of his source of exit. Rosa, just like in vanilla, will not learn that spell until you are at the very end of the Tower of Zod.
That's right, it is collecting the characters and not specifically that triggers her learning the exit spell.
Yep.
One of those things we learned thanks to the Jumping Club.
And if you want to see a little more about these flags, I believe we have a command for that as well. Yeah. If you click that, you can read the summary of the flags and the details. Some of the little minutiae that are just kind of common knowledge won't be expounded upon there. You can get an idea of what you're looking at while you're watching runners play in the tournament that we have going on right now.
And we've got sirens in the moon shop.
Very nice. We're not going to have to spend a whole bunch of time stealing them with our edge. And we also have hourglasses back in the Eblin shop. We have coffins in Feymarch. I'm guessing we saw mute bells somewhere as well. So lots of options for pick your favorite grind.
Yeah, we could do eggs on Earth, we could do gold dragons here, we could do warlocks here. If we had a good source of week, we could go to steam machines. There's definitely a bunch of options.
And penguin8r here looks to be setting himself up for moon commitment in spite of that tower key.
Maybe gambling that McBain will full clear Earth and hoping to find something good on the moon.
Or maybe just peeking the character. Very quick reset there.
Yeah, it turns out this was just a shop check and a character check, which is a little bit expensive when you consider that it's like 15 seconds each way to go to and from the moon.
Yeah. I do wonder, like, I feel like you have to be a little nervous with some of those overworld hiccups. The time to get the Rosa when there was a freebie hanging out, the initial wipe at Odin, like... On the other hand, maybe the tower is garbage and just gives Cacfos.
Yeah, great for Yang, not much for progression.
One more check available here, of course. Now, penguin8r has a move named after him, the penguin8r Half Tower Special, where you only do the tower key and you disregard the part at the top. I wonder if he'll fulfill that name. No, he knows the dolls are there. The dolls are too quick to kill.
Yeah.
I would be shocked.
The dolls in the back not having the boss flag set vulnerable to the stop spell and can make that fight pretty easy.
Also, we have the Bahamut summon. We've had the Bahamut summon so good.
Yeah, Bahamut just kind of wrecks these boss fights that comprise of many small targets.
Vane finds Pale Dim, one-shots it with that Artemis Heroine Rosa, pew pew pew, and it is gone.
Yeah, is it the bow or the arrows that grant the bonus against dragons?
The arrows. The Artemis bow gives you no damage multipliers, just really good physical stats. Yeah, definitely no need to save here. penguin8r saw what was on the agenda earlier. And McBain looking maybe to be trying to find one of the alert enemies to go ahead and steal some sirens. We know they're for selling the moon.
Does not know about the moon sirens.
Well, they are pricey. They're expensive anyway, and if you can just farm up however many you want. There's also something to be said for playing a seed in which you never even spawn the whale. You save a lot of time on cutscenes if you absolutely never go to the moon.
Very true. It's like 3 minutes to go from the surface of the blue planet to the lunar core, I think.
Something like that. I've not timed it recently. But you factor in those the whale spawning cutscenes, and it gets even slower. Now, I don't think we're seeing a reset here because penguin8r did not save. He would have to... I think it's a shorter walk from here to the tower room than it is from the outside of the tower room.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty close.
Now, penguin8r's knowledge that sirens are for sale on the moon may let him make up some important lost time here.
Yeah, the siren thievery that's going on McBain's side is... It's money efficient, but it's not time efficient.
Well, McBain has decided he's stolen enough.
Was that a crystal sword?
That was the crystal sword, yes.
Someone get PK and Demerin on the phone.
There's one in every scene, they say. But we've not spotted a Cecil yet, have we?
Yeah, which brings up an interesting question. Are you on Team Cecil or Team No Cecils?
Oh, I am, you know, some people say 0 Cecils. Some people say 2 or more Cecils. I say, I'll make it work.
Yeah, that is similar to me. I've had some seeds where one Cecil has been the play, some weren't been the play.
But if you get like
oh, and there's the Avenger.
Yeah, if you get like the Crystal Sword and the Avenger side by side, then maybe.
Yeah, this is a seed now where you want a level 44 Cecil.
Yeah, don't even mind having 2, because you can always, at this Threemus fight, do the Avenger trick, where you flip from the Crystal Sword to the Avenger. And now, you have the attack power of the Crystal Sword. And that means your next Cecil can have that same Crystal Sword. Hand-me-down.
There's the Adamant. So, we've got Forge on the table now.
Yep, that will be objective number 1. That gives us yet another big hit the stick for a Cecil.
Not to mention the value to be found in the shop.
Yep. But now we are at a crossroads. We have fights in the Feymarch, we have fights on the moon, we have the potential of a hidden D-Mist in the Giant. I don't think that's the one we're going to chase after that.
Could also be hiding in the Luca Cave or in the Tower of Zod, right?
Oh, Sealed Cave would be so spicy. That would be pretty glorious, unironically.
Yeah, occasionally the objective for these races will come up with complete the Sealed Cave, and it makes the warp glitch a little less appealing.
Yep.
And we've got ribbons, crystal rings, protect rings, and apples in the shop. That's some good value.
Not bad. Nothing that's going to increase your damage output, but definitely some of that gear, the ribbons and both rings have a fantastic magic resistance. They can, and the apples as well. Everything in that shop like combines to really enable low levels of aroma strats. Just because if I put a ribbon and one of those rings on my character, I'm suddenly not that worried about a Big Bang doing more than 1700 or 1800. But matching objectives done. McBain doing a little bit of shopping. Penguin8r may have a slight edge here now. The first one to go to his next location. But what are their next locations going to be?
I mean, it's looking for an obnoxious D-Mist in a spot you don't want to go to, or going to the moon, I think.
Well, Penguin8r apparently made a mental note of where exits were for sale. May not have a Rosa who knows it, but has one in the pocket.
But maybe going to go check Zot. Or just do more shopping.
Yeah, I'm sure that he said, if I end up not having X, Y, or Z, I need thing 1, thing 2, and thing 3. Sell a crystal sword, heck. Go for it. Oh, no, he didn't have one. He has the X-Cal. So buys a few illusions, buys a source of exit, has a little bit of hourglass going on, a little bit of coffin, a few sirens. I don't think I take either Feymarch shop without some grinding first.
Yeah.
And I think you also have to, like, maybe give up on the whole concept of Eddie strats at this point.
Yeah, although Dark Elf would be trivial if you had that Paladin Cecil right now.
Absolutely.
Oh, are we trying the Antlion? We're trying the Antlion.
Bold move, Cotton!
Let's see how that pays off.
I mean, I would be actually a little less terrified of this fight if we had both Rosa and Porum here, just because we'd have two sources of blink. Bahamut does work, but this spot has 35,000 HP. That's at minimum 4 doses of Bahamut, and I'm not sure if we're rocking a whole lot of ethers.
I don't think we have the speed to pull it off.
Yeah, Bahamut ain't a speedy summon. Rosa's defense is impressive, but...
Yeah, she can take a hit, probably not two.
Yeah. If we were to roll that same damage number, it would take 6 Bahamuts. That's 360 MP? How many? Well...
Rosa's got 200, Rydia can't have much more than that.
Yeah. So I would wager here, penguin8r maybe peeks for a free boss at the bottom, and then if he doesn't see one, he may use those sirens to do some gold dragons right quick. Let's see, is McBain gonna try his hand at the other boss, or we see some hesitation here. It looks like he's reconsidering how he wants to approach this. I think he has 2 Moonveils, in fact.
Oh yeah, and if we've got some ethers, this could be doable. Just pop a Moonveil on that Rydia, and she's invincible.
Yeah, there are 2 sitting right there up at the top left. Yeah, penguin8r had 2, but burned 1 against Odin. McBain has the 2 that he found. Second one in a different spot, and has not spent either one yet. You know, you may sometimes ask yourself, but what if I need it next fight? Now is not the time to ask yourself that question.
Going for the Bahamut right away, not going with the Moonveil.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that... Go ahead.
Oh, just pointing out that the fight did not go well, and we took another reset right away.
Yeah, and again, that's one of those things where I think you can really see that with... Even we have so much great new talent, but I think that's one of those things that you can see penguin8r's experience coming to bear, and that was he did not hesitate to use that Moonveil when he needed it. Whereas, you know, in this situation, McBain seems to be trying to hoard them for a rainy day, or may have forgotten he had them. But
yeah, it's a common trope among JRPG players. I can't use that. What if I need it later?
Yeah. So I frequently describe things as speed versus efficiency. Like this may not. Oh my God! Freebie at D Lunars. There you go.
Yeah, you were saying something about efficiency just now.
Yeah, it may not be the best use of certain J items. Like, let's say that I have a Stardust item or a Gaia Drum item. You know, this little Comet or Quake. I may use that at the Antlion fight, even if it's a single target enemy. Why? Because I want to get out of there and save however long that fight's going to take. Make it up on the back end, hopefully, instead of just having the item all the way to the end game and never using it, you know?
Yeah, and that cane gets taken down, possibly going to be used for anchoring purposes.
Yeah, that 190 is definitely Kane's base, level 10 HP. And we did see that penguin8r swapped out that Edward for a Rosa. Figures out the levels I'm going to end up with here do not merit keeping Eddie around for those kinds of strats.
I wonder if we're going to see a reflect strat going on here, because White is slow, but it still deals a lot of damage.
I mean, maybe. We clearly don't intend to bring Kane to the party, at least not the DPS party. So, maybe. And it's impressive how simply just fading the Fey March has seemingly put the ball back in penguin8r's court. He was lagging behind quite a bit, and McBain definitely has the better gear. But the problem is he doesn't have anyone to use it with. A Cecil would be immense here. But if there's one, he's behind the package or the Tower of Zot.
Yeah, and that baby Rosa getting a nice slingshot, 24 levels.
Oh yeah, getting double XP, definitely 5 levels behind the median right here.
We've got a Pan and a Baron key. That's 4 new checks available to penguin8r.
And
stay on the moon, or do you go back?
Not just that, that's 10 key items. That's double XP for everything going forward.
You are absolutely correct. penguin8r has definitely gained an advantage here.
He did find 2 exits. He's contemplating. I think you have to at least check the Pan. You may not go into Baron, but I think you have to go bonk that monk and take that back to Sheila right now.
Might go check Plague first, though.
What freebies do we still have in play? We've not seen Baron guards or Kaipo guards, right?
One of them is the Baigen spot.
Ah, gotcha.
Octomom here is not terrible.
Oh, not bad at all. Flinging the X-Cal out the gate. I love it. Boardface AI saying, no. Is that the second moon? Oh, no, it was a life potion. I thought we saw the second moon veil coming out. I got excited.
Yeah. Penguin8r definitely using that.
Penguin8r taking this as a sign. Okay, Boardface, I gotcha. I'll leave. Please stop punching me.
Yeah, what I was gonna say, Octomom, fully physical boss, totally something you could cheese out with the moon veil if you really wanted to.
Yeah, it's not so bad.
Will that take?
The big thing about Octomammoth is that as you hit it, the first 3 hits, loses a tentacle, loses speed. Every 2 hits thereafter, loses a tentacle, loses speed until it's down to the last one. So yeah, it's not so bad if you can get yourself started. I think using some extra blink there may have been helpful, turning the battle speed down. But I also think you got to pan. What do we say about freebies?
I believe you're supposed to check your freebies.
Check your freebies. And also, there's the fact that either a Twin Harp or a Pink Tail gives Penguin8r Go mode. It's not, I have to get lucky down a chain. It is either of 2 items gives it to me right now.
Yeah, and you've just unlocked 4 checks that are easier than doing the moon.
Baron Key, you do have to be a little worried about, but if he does remember, like you said, that it's Baron or Kaipo guards there, pretty great.
And then the King of Baron spot is like 4,000 hit points. It's totally doable. Yeah. It's just the time of walking through the underground waterway. We had Excalibur, but what about second Excalibur?
So we've had 2 Excaliburs, a Crystal Sword, and an Avenger across our runners here. Where's Cecil?
Probably on vacation at this point. Maybe hiding behind the giant?
McBain here going ahead and doing a preemptive grind. I can't fault this at all. Wanting a few more levels, especially after how Antlion went, makes a ton of sense to me. Is missing out ever so slightly, though, because we know that there are 2 absolutely free key items down at the Ribbon Altar.
Plus that infusion of 100,000 experience.
Yeah. But, you know, getting a few levels just for safety. Nothing to scoff at.
You're gonna have to grind eventually. There's our pass, so Pan was worth it.
Well, there's one problem with this for Penguin8r. What if the Pink Tail and the Twin Harp are both back on 4-7 of the Lunar Subterranean?
That is a fair point.
But you gotta make your play. You gotta commit to it. I guess we're gonna see Baron here, right?
Yeah, it looks like we're heading towards Baron.
I mean, you have to be so nervous. Again, you know it's 1 item. 1 item is all it takes.
Grandfather asking, did anyone check Mist Cave? I believe that was the first thing Penguin8r did.
Yep.
One thing about McBain's grind, chooses to use these AoE spells to burn down the dragons. That's gonna make it less easy to do the life glitch and get your extra experience that way.
Yeah. But at the same time, these gold dragons are one of the few enemies that have, like, respectable physical defense. So if you don't have anti-dragon weaponry or just the real big hit the sticks of the endgame, you tear them down any way you can. Does get that life glitch off, though. Another smooth 90,000 XP.
And eventually Rydia will learn the weak spell.
Don't hold your breath on that one.
I'm assuming Rydia's going to nuke levels anyway.
Yeah, probably. But Rydia has a very slow and long and onerous XP curve, so by the time you get weak for her, the rest of your team is probably nearly Zeromus ready.
Alright, Baron or Kaipo guards?
I have a feeling it doesn't matter what your name is.
Because your name is Bahamut Fodder?
Yeah. Or, well, actually, maybe not. Maybe just... Okay, there we go.
Penguin8r hesitating on which of his summons to use.
It's like, how do I kill you today?
What style am I leaning towards?
Now, the real dangerous thing for McBain here is that McBain may be in a bit of a pickle, because he's going to do the same fight. He's going to get those 2 freebies. And he probably comes back and starts chasing them as well. Unless, wait, does McBain not have a source of exit? Did he not go back and buy some?
I don't think he bought exits.
Oh, well then I think he's forced to commit to the moon. That's an alt gauntlet. Water
That's
hag.
annoying, but that's it. Penguin8r did not fix the mini status on that one Rosa, though.
I mean, you got 10 key items. You can get the levels you need in a bed. Great hat.
Yeah, yeah, you're not gonna live that one down for a while.
I mean, look, okay, I had like 1 letter off.
Language is hard. Let's play video games.
Yeah. This Rhodes is really hanging in there, by the way. Maybe minied, but still shrugging off these hits. Like, I'll take on every one of you. Yeah, I mean, this is either really great. The seed will now determine your winner, chat. If the Pink Tail or Twin Harp is down here in the bottom of the moon, this is fantastic for McBain. He's inclined to stick around. If it's literally anything gated by this Baron T, Penguin8r takes it. Like, it's entirely deterministic based on where things are distributed at this point, in my opinion.
What if it's Miss Dragon at Ogopogo spot?
Then that's Edge McBain. That counts. That counts as Lunar Subterranean. If it's one of
but
each,
it's also one of those really hard spots.
If it's one of each, it's advantage Penguin8r. Well, it depends. Like, if it's Twin Harp Penguin8r, but Pink Tail McBain, that's a cheeky swap up. So that means Penguin8r has to go through a cutscene to finish, while McBain just has to turn in a tail, but has to walk out of the moon. That's what I want. He
has to walk out of the moon and walk back to the moon, because he doesn't have the pass yet.
Well, he would probably do the pan he might do the pan. Who knows if he'd do the pan? I don't know if he'd do
Please do not talk about spoilers for previous races in the chat. There are people who are going to want to watch those VODs later.
Yeah. If you come in from another race or you watch one a day, if you want to talk about race spoilers, there is a channel on the Free Enterprise Workshop Discord called Race Spoilers. And if you want to talk about race spoilers, that's where you go to talk about race spoilers.
But thank you for asking first. We like to explain things here. We're pretty welcoming.
And there are definitely people who would love to talk about anything you've seen in a race. Everyone's watching them. Everyone's talking about them.
Yes.
Everybody's moving. Everybody's grooving, baby.
Yeah, and you're fine, McFly. You did the right thing by asking first.
McBain here cleans up the squid, makes calamari, at the same time Penguin8r gets... Womp womp.
Gets more than McBain did, though.
I mean, you say that.
A package could lead to a demist.
Oh, gross. I love it.
A Grimoire is not another potential check, though.
Oh, not with that attitude. It could summon a demist.
Technically, yes.
Penguin8r feeling a little trepidation at this point. You can feel it. You can feel it.
Yep, McBain's starting to warp out a bit.
Oh, is McBain not going to do? Oh no. Okay.
Or he's trying to shortcut to the Crystal Sword altar.
Yeah, going Crystal Sword, but not going Ogo. I mean, this fight is easier provided it uses magical attacks. Physicals here a little rough.
Yes. And who is the true King of Baron today? It is Queen Ashura.
Penguin8r, do you have a Mage Masher?
Yes.
Ding! You have solved the puzzle.
Throw up some Star Bales or some Wall Spell, Berserk that Edge, win.
Looks like he intends to just go power over... Okay, never mind.
Hey, there's our Threemus.
Threemus is on the moon, but it's punching hard, and it's punching fast.
But now you get like 5 seconds to recover because of how fast the spot is.
This will definitely make McBain want to get out of the moon. Bahamut's like, that's just a foggy day. I ain't attacking that. Is that Kane Avengered? Okay, there we go.
Might have been Avengered, yes.
That 8,600 damage crit from Edge, you love to see it.
Them damage multipliers.
On the critical edge of glory. And we get...
we get another chain.
How committed are you at this point?
And we get to play Rate That Treasury.
I do not think Penguin8r goes for a treasury. What a seed, though, rolled here by Ground Flyer. Shockingly trolly. You know, here, have a starting edge, and then be in panic mode for 45 minutes of your night.
Yep.
I like where Nom de Plume in chat. Your head is in a good place. Not committing! Oh my goodness.
Are we going back to the moon?
I think at this point you kind of got to do top down, right?
Well, Penguin8r doesn't know that there's a Grimoire hiding behind Plague Spot.
I mean, we did find 2 key items on the moon.
Yes.
So, that right there kind of reduces your likelihood of getting them, just because there's... I did the math on this last night. I forgot where I put the math on this. But basically, there's a... Of the 11 spots added the moon by K Summon and K Moon, half the time, 6 of them are in play. A quarter of the time, 7 are in play. 1/8 of the time, 8 are in play. A 16th of the time, 9 are in play. Like, you keep dropping down. But even then, they're being combined with the vanilla key item pool, and it's all being distributed. So, I don't know. It also depends on how many you've seen in your Fey March and your Pan checks. And Penguin8r only got an X-Scal and a Pass. Although the Pass is in the key item pool. And Fey March, he didn't do either fight. So, yeah. But Odin was a key item. Here, let's count. Odin was a key item. Sheila 2 is actually a vanilla check. So Odin was a key item, and there were 2 more. He's found 3 key items in those 11 spots so far. I don't know. Maybe you do a little more moon after all.
Yeah. Oh, was it leg?
It's looking leggy.
Where's Starscream?
No Ice Claw. That's not very nice, Claw.
Wonder if there's value in Cape Bahamut.
Penguin8r also is probably worried about finding a good opportunity here to get that Kane knocked down if he intends to keep anchoring with him. Oh, hey, Ruby. Is that 7 Drain Spears? I love it.
That is 7 Drain Spears.
That is a speedy leg. Speedy leg is in the house tonight. Oh, no, that's the Party Rock. I got Party Rock in my head. Why didn't you go after the Party Rock?
I don't know, but Threemus is down on McBain's side.
Ooh, but wait, there's more.
Oh, reward with a samurai bow.
Yeah. The value. Alright, Ruby's down. Ah, well, you didn't keep the Edward.
Still, I think that's probably worth it as far as experience gain, and the spoon is a better throwable than the Excalibur.
Yeah, it's a very nice throwable, but we just threw a whole bunch of other stuff. I don't know. I wonder if Penguin8r goes to Cape Bahamut or if he walks the moon a second time here.
Looks like we're headed down.
But McBain is headed out. Well, we know here in the booth that the only profit is either through that Earth Crystal or through the Mama Misty. So Penguin8r at this point has to hold out hope for an Ogopogo reward. He doesn't know this, but that's kind of his only chance here. Walking back through the moon like this has completely put the ball back in McBain's court. If it's either of those checked back on Earth, Penguin8r's in a pickle. But now it's Ogopogo! This is so weird.
And we can't discount Value Cave either.
The moral of the story is, no matter which of these players wins, be scared of them if you are going head-to-head and have to route against them.
Possimorphy is saying someone's going to win this race. Not necessarily true. We had a tie in the hook route last week.
That's true, that's true. And Penguin8r here going to the Wyvern spot first.
Gonna get that E-Mist going.
That's very interesting. I mean, so let's say that Penguin8r exits to go chase D-Mist. Does he then do Earth Crystal afterwards?
Huh? What are you talking about, Scal? I didn't put anything on you. Oh, the tie. The tie.
Spoon unloading on D-Mist instantly. McBain here, chasing the pan checks first. We'll get the pass out of this, which is good news.
Yeah.
But if this is something like Twin Harp and Ogo leading to Pinktail, oh my god.
Or just D-Mist having one of those two key items would potentially put McBain ahead, because he's about to get his pass. He is gonna have easier access to Rydia's mom.
I mean, PK saying in chat, if you do D-Mist into Sheila too, but I think at this point you have so few options where your pass can be, you probably check Sheila too. No, I'm talking about McBain as well. Like, what if you do get your key item here, and you just think, oh no, I need to take care of this and get back to the moon. Fading the D-Mist for now, though, so we'll get the pass first.
Oh, chat pointing out that there could still be value in the Fame Arch, too.
Absolutely. Just wild. Wild seed. Clearly throwing both runners for a loop. Neither one has to be happy with how they've pathed everything, I think.
Yeah, this seed has been messy for both runners. And Penguin8r getting that samurai bow while McBain gets the pass.
I definitely see the other exit being popped here, and then if D-Mist doesn't give value, I think we see a quick reset back down for the Ogopogo spot.
Did we take a safety save?
Before the fight, yeah.
Okay.
Are they gonna be neck and neck going to D-Mist? Penguin8r going via well, and McBain going via airship?
Oh, McBain is not doing D-Mist yet.
Oh, is this a situation where you get so excited about your newly gotten gains that you... Ooh.
This could be big.
No, no, no! Now it's... No, don't shop at an hour 20 in this flag set. Don't do it! Get out of there!
But that could be value.
No! Penguin8r somehow being the first one to peak the D-Mist. I am honestly shocked that this is happening. I thought McBain would be doing this check by a landslide.
Welp.
Welp! Well, okay.
Well, I guess this probably puts things a little bit better for Penguin8r since, you know, he's still on the moon. He can go do Ogopogo and Bahamut spots.
Yeah, and McBain, meanwhile, will have to pursue that Earth Crystal, but has to do a couple of things and a couple of cutscenes to get to it first.
Right, because that was from Odin's spot, wasn't it?
It was, and it was Asura there, who, she's not free even at high levels. Like, if you know what you're doing, sure, and if you have your mage gear, if you set things up to where she doesn't get to heal herself, but even powerful teams can have a hitch in their step when they face Asura. Wonder how Penguin8r is going to feel if it is Bahamut. I mean, Cave Bahamut, given that he is... this is his second time at this part of the moon. Oh, he's not done this fight either. This is going to cost him a little bit.
Looks like McBain is ahead on the grind, just judging from those HP totals.
Burning that moon veil. There we go.
I have a feeling, though, that this Octomom is going to go faster than the Livable Gauntlet.
Oh, yeah. And I have a feeling we're going to get a reset immediately afterwards to get the moon veil back as well.
Yeah, moon veil is definitely worth more than a Grimoire.
Yeah, and this spot also does not give the greatest of experience points, not when we have Sirens and 10 key items, and other options just generally available. McBain does have a decent advantage here, though, over where Penguin8r was. Has a apparently relative agility 1 Rydia in slot 2, so gets to open every fight with Virus instead of having to do like slower ninja magic or rotate the party around. Having chopped so many legs off, Octomammoth going very slow, but still manages to take one Rosa down with it. Not that it matters, that 62,400 XP is about to be refunded, I dare say.
Yep. Yep, there's the reset.
Yeah, I want my Moon Veil. Give me my Moon Veil. If this is all behind Earth Crystal, oh, that'll be a cheeky seed.
Yeah. I mean, we still also have those Feymarch bosses.
Yeah. And here's our Ogopogo check. Kaipo guards here would be pretty funny, just because of how everyone aggressively ignored this spot.
CPU's not bad here.
You know, if you want to be real cheeky, you know what you could do here?
Blow up the attacker and then just burn through.
You can actually do your grind right here.
Oh yeah, because you could exploit Globe 199 and respawning the orbs.
Yeah, Dusty Griff, the World Series of Free Enterprise champion, sent me a seed the other day where I could not decide on a grind, and then I ran into this monster at the D-Lunar spot, and I had a couple of palms, so I just bluffed up my quacks and just kept quacking and accidentally gained like 1.7 million XP.
CPU grind is the new meta. You heard it here first.
You know, I'm strangely comfortable with it. And we have to get through 30,000 HP on the CPU.
I bet both of our runners feel behind right now, Ground.
Oh yeah, I mean, the fact that you need one of 2 items, either one, and you've completed this much of the seed, like, basically anytime, like, as, well, from what I've seen, on these group flags, you get to this 80, 85 minute mark, and you are in a state of perpetual panic.
Yes, nobody has done yet what is missing. What if it was that thing I noped out of earlier?
Oh, and here we go. Penguin8r queuing up the Dragon Lord. I don't know if he was counting precise damage or if he just thinks he has enough gas left in the tank here.
Oh, here comes the spoon.
So I see the spoon throw, then a Zerked Edge.
Not enough.
I don't think you do another Bahamut here. I think you do a... I think I would do a Sylph Summon there, just because you know it's going to go off fast enough. But as long as this other Glow 199 doesn't hit Edge, I think we're...
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Very well executed. Well done by Penguin8r.
Yeah.
Cut
Doing
that
the
fight.
Bahamut with... Oh, we're in go mode.
That is a go mode. The Twin Harp. You have to go through the cutscene. We do get music tonight, chat. McBain's hope at this point would be a ridiculously easy Zot that gives the pink tail.
Alright, good thing we still have that exit.
Alternately, McBain's other option would be, say, Kaipo guards at Cave Bahamut with the pink tail. That's another good... It's another out. There are still ways here. Penguin8r may be the first to go mode, but McBain has ways he can bring this back. Clever by Penguin8r, remembering, oh hey, where are those sirens at? Yeah, let's go ahead and grab those before we leave the moon. I've been here enough times for one seed.
Yeah, maybe gonna pop some eggs to finish off the grind.
Okay, I'm a fan of Team Ogre Axe as well, but yeah, it's time.
So, while we're waiting, what are some of your favorite Twin Harp songs? There have been some real good ones lately.
Oh, so I'm still partial to nearly all of the ones that were in the incentive pool for HEDQ 2019. Bloody Tears from Castlevania, Hopes and Dreams from Undertale, or that one, yeah, Hopes and Dreams from Undertale. Telltale Heights actually won that bid war and was amazing.
Oh yeah, that one's pretty good.
Yeah, the Lufia 2 ones are all great. I have a fond place in my heart for the one that I got to add for winning the full gauntlet, Burning Blood from Final Fantasy Legend 2. Calamity knocked it out of the park with it. It's so good. But I think if I choose just one favorite, I think I do choose Bloody Tears, Castlevania 2.
Oh yeah, that is a classic. I haven't heard the Heart version of it recently, but that song is just amazing. Some of the good ones I've had recently was the Crashman stage theme for Mega Man 2 during the charity race that Groundflyer and I ran over the weekend.
Yeah. Who were your Z-Sprites, by the way? I completely forgot to go look at the VOD on that. I looked at the VOD from the morning one, not the one from the evening one.
Right. So the musical sprite won the bid war on that one, and we had Hatsune Miku.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And then the creepy sprite I showed off after my interview, and that was the Tails doll.
The Tails doll?
Yes, from Sonic, I guess.
Okay, cool.
Yes, Hatsune Miku is fantastic, and Scala Kitty did good work as always.
Penguin8r getting a siren for a siren. Penguin8r here going ahead and completing the grind before doing Twin Harp. No reason not to. You know you want to go straight from the Harp to your Z-Fight via the pass. So, no reason not to go ahead and take care of this before going back up there.
Yeah, it's the optimal sequencing. Still don't get how Egg that you explicitly summon can catch you from behind, though.
So I wonder, how high is Penguin8r grinding here? I mean, we do have a pretty distinguished mage team here. Takes quite a little bit to get Rydia to level 50 for Nuke, though.
Yeah. Edge has okay swords, so we might see a hybrid strat.
Haven't we seen a Unicorn kicking around Penguin8r's inventory as well?
Possibly. Question from chat, why is Kane staying at low levels? Would you care to explain the arcane science of agility manipulation?
Sure. So agility in Final Fantasy IV in the vanilla game is based off of Cecil's agility. Everyone in your party, the enemies, they compare their base agility to his, and that determines how quickly they act in combat. We don't have Cecil in this party right now, so it's whoever's in your middle spot. And the theory goes that you want them as slow as possible, and in Kane's case, dead as possible to keep slow, so that the rest of this team will be as fast as Threemus. Threemus' base agility is 69, while your teammates' Edge gets into like the upper 30s, low 40s if he gains a bunch of levels and has really good katanas. Most of your other team gets nowhere near that, especially your mages. So you keep your Anchor's agility low, and then the rest of your team gets to be as fast as the super fast bosses of the game.
Yes, and the caveat that makes all of this work is that no entity in the combat can be more than 5 times faster than your Anchor character.
Yeah.
So if you've got like an agility 5 Cecil as your Anchor, for example, once you've got 25 or more agility, it doesn't really matter. You're just going 5 times faster.
You actually don't even get that high. If your base agility is 5, you only have to beat you have to make the 2.5 times multiplier. So 13 would be enough there.
Oh, okay.
13 equals 69. You learned it here first. Math is fascinating. Yeah, McBain here really needs to see a pink tail. If so, we're going to be neck and neck going into the Threemus fight.
Yep. Yeah, because there's no chains left after this. The pink tail is... Ooh. The pink tail is at Cape Bahamut, I guess.
Well, 4 options.
Or
it could be in Cape
could
Magnus,
also be
Cape
in,
Bahamut, Fey March fights.
Yes. If you're McBain, you probably do the Fey March.
It's 2 checks side by side, or you reset back up to the moon. This is real bad for McBain. Although we know the Twin Harp's down here, the problem is penguin8r has grinded, has his team all set for Threemus, and is already walking to it. I mean, of course, our racers are on 15-minute delay. They don't know the situation at hand. We here in the booth know. McBain's hope would have been to get a pink tail from another fight. So the reins are in the hands of penguin8r. He's going to give you some Twin Harp tunes. He's going to give you a butt to watch it get kicked in glorious fashion. So yeah, enjoy the closure of the seed. We're not going anywhere, but it's the game is penguin8r's to lose now. Something
he
wild
definitely has the advantage.
Oh, Maryland, sadly, pink puffs do not drop pink tails in Free Enterprise. They drop adamant armor directly, which I'm not sure if they still do when it's no adamants in play.
Yeah, I was literally about to ask you that because you know everything about this game.
I don't know that. I don't know that at all. Because that's not something I would do even if it could work.
Yeah, the pink tail grind is definitely not a thing that this community normally does.
Gotcha. Okay, apparently they still do. Board did not overwrite their drop table with that. But it's their rarest drop anyway, so good luck.
But I think it's time for us to shush for a moment so we can hear what cool jams Edward has for us. Hello, Wyvern.
Oh, what a cheeky finish right here.
And yeah, chat pointing out this is Koo's March from Final Fantasy IX, where you can do a frog catching minigame and learn some blue magic.
Yep. Hey, Frog Stomp in that game. You'll learn one of those spells that can do quad 9s if you're willing to eat enough frogs. Oh, I love this. Penguin8r not even going to show us if that's the pink tail.
Doesn't need it. I guess we'll have to
know,
wait for the spoiler log.
I want to know. Let's pay attention. Help me pay attention. Actually, I'm commissioning our tracker, Microcorks. Pay attention to that spoiler log. We want to know if the pink tail was there.
But yeah, every second counts, as Chad is pointing out, and you know, we're an hour and 37 minutes in. Nobody's done yet. We're probably just going to rush Threemus.
Yeah, it's been long enough. Penguin8r's had enough of this seed. Shoutouts to our restreamer for honestly kind of clowning on our runners here. They each went to the lunar core and then left and then went back one way or another.
Yeah, the lunar whale's going to need a refueling after all this. And Chad is wondering who's Threemus going to be tonight. We don't throw him in the randomized boss pool. He's too OP for that. But we still want to randomize him because this is a randomizer. So we've got 450 plus sprites. We talked about a couple of them already. But it's time to ask, whose butt are we going to kick tonight?
Soon. So, also, I just realized with Penguin8r's team composition, we will not be saying Unicorn strats here, I believe, because the party order here implies pure reflect strats, and if you pop a Starveil, even if you then pop a Bacchus to Berserk, the Unicorn does not penetrate the wall status, so...
Unicorn is reflectable? Good to know.
Yeah.
And get your last guesses in, people, because that crystal's coming out pretty quick.
Oh yeah, pure reflection. Nice thing about this setup is that the holies are both delay 3, so they don't get reflected until after Threemus loses his immunity. So very smart setup here, and should be just in time for Rydia's nuke to be able to do damage in spite of it being a much faster spell.
That looks like Animus.
Little Final Fantasy X action here.
Yeah, this was an Aeon that creeped me out as a kid.
Yeah. This Aeon taught me try to be good, especially on Mother's Day. Scala, was this one of the Z sprites that had the wrong letter at the end of it? One of the... I don't think it was. Scala knows what I'm talking about. I'm going to shut my mouth.
Okay. The counter nuke from that Silk Web, though, got bounced off of Edge, so there's some free damage.
Always nice to have bonuses. I don't think we have that great of stat sticks on this team, and we have kind of the bare minimum levels to get our ultimate spells. But between the nuke and the double holy, I'm pretty sure we're going to have plenty of damage here. Even have a few Cure 3s just to top off the party as needed. Yeah, it looked like Penguin8r was contemplating throwing a Drain Spear there, but if you've not kept count, the last thing you want to do is activate the refill when you're trying to skip half the HP here. Oh, you want to talk about reflex
Sure,
traps?
let's talk about hit points.
Yeah, go for it.
So Threemus has like 105,000 hit points, but SNES is a 16-bit console. It can only count up to 65,000. So the way we get around that is bosses that have more hit points than that get a refill at certain points during the encounter. That refill is triggered as a counterattack in the game scripts, and reflected abilities do not trigger counterattacks. So you can just ignore the extra 40 to 50,000 hit points Threemus is supposed to have and just count all the way down from 65k.
Yep. More or less. You do see the shake coming out. Highly unlikely we see a second Big Bang, usually with these setups. If we do, They're pretty nice recoveries. You get your nuker up, you do your little extra bit of damage, and you're all good.
Yeah, Edge should be able to survive an unnerfed Big Bang with this hit point total. Bottom Rosa can probably make it too. Then you just life up, you reapply your Star Bale because there's going to be a black hole, and
or
never mind, you got a flash.
Why would you even see a second Big Bang? No one wants to see that. Just kill it. Kill it. Penguin8r showing he's a member of the old guard of Final Fantasy IV. For Enterprise runners, you have to have an appropriate victory gif to queue up after you win your match. Official time, 1:41:35. Shockingly long finish time for these group flags. Very rude seed, even putting a veteran runner like Penguin8r to the task, but pulls off the win, goes to 2-0, guaranteed a spot in the second Magma play-in at least, but a win next week will get him into the first one as well.
That is correct. Penguin8r's got to be feeling good about things, and I think we are joined by Penguin8r.
GG's Penguin8r, well played.
Thank you, thank you.
Are you going to let Ground Flyer roll any more seeds for you?
Well, we had the Bahamut early. We had the Edge start. I can't complain too much. The main thing was just having one of two items remaining and the whole moon open and other items popping up. It was pretty stressful making those decisions.
Yeah, you both went back and forth to the moon multiple times.
Yeah, that's the thing, like, it's hard to ask questions about that, but what is typically, as far as you're willing to share, I know that you don't want to reveal all your secrets, but for other people watching who are still in the Magma and Hook groups, what is your general attitude towards moon completion versus taking what you've got and checking it out? Are you looking for things that gate more things? Are you looking at how many options you have that'll still get you go mode? Is it just certain items are really valuable to you? Maybe your party team composition plays into it. What's your general philosophy on leaving the moon and coming back?
I think it depends a lot on my opponent and how the seed is going. I kind of try to gauge to make sure I'm going to the moon, I guess, before my opponent, roughly. So in this case, I figured I had a slight lead probably from the Hook, and then so I felt fine clearing a little bit more of the overworld, clearing out the freebies and the tower. I guess in this seed there weren't really any other options left, so I was kind of forced to go to the moon at that point. The summons weren't too appetizing, so there weren't really any other options.
Yeah, those were some rude Fey March bosses for sure. McBain tried the Antlion a couple times and just wasn't getting there.
That was a big difference, by the way. I believe McBain still has both the moon veils that he found, and you had no qualms popping them. Is that something that you think comes with experience, like you're more willing to use these extremely strong items just to guarantee advancement now? Or are there still times where you're thinking, I need to save this for X item for Y situation?
Yeah, it's a lot of experience. Even a lot of times find, I'm sitting on a moon veil the whole game and never actually use it. Kind of looking at the objectives, I was thinking we wouldn't necessarily do many moon fights. Of course, that ended up being wrong. So I was a little bit more willing to use the moon veils. I probably reset out of 1 or 2 moon veils to get extra use out of it. Also on the moon this seed, though.
Well,
yeah, I think you reset out of the Octomom at Plague to recover your moon veil.
Yeah, no grimoires, no literacy this time. Now you're 2-0. You are guaranteed a spot in at least the second Magma Key play-in. Looking at next week, anyone else already with 2 wins who you're looking forward to playing? You think that you have a good advantage based on different routes and different strats? Anyone you really don't want to have to bump into? Anyone who is just, a chum and you don't want to have to kick their butt?
To be honest, I have not looked at the standings this week. It's been a pretty busy week for me, IRL. But just knowing the matches, whoever wins from Pizza and Jeebus, if that didn't happen yet, is going to be pretty scary.
Yeah, Pizza and Jeebus is tomorrow night, so results to be determined.
Yeah, that's a very exciting match. Both excellent racers. I would also likewise be hoping to dodge the 2 of them. Well, Champ, Champ, again, reminder, Penguin8r is the reigning Zima Zone champ. Took it down last year, firing on all cylinders this year. Any thoughts heading ideally into the table phase? You looking for some vengeance against Baka? What are you hoping to see in the tournament the rest of this season?
Well, as you mentioned, I'm guaranteed a play-in match, and I believe history shows every time I've been in a play-in match in a Zima Zone, I ended up winning. Just putting that out there.
Good to be confident, I guess.
Keeping that unblemished record. Well, GG's again, Penguin8r. I hope the rest of your week isn't so busy and you get to calm down a little bit, enjoy the fruits of your victory, and we'll get real hype about that 2-0 match next week for you.
All right, thanks.
GG again. And McBain threw the Wyvern, had a rough time of it, almost took a wipe.
And there's the pink tail. It is behind Antlion. Oh my gosh. You know, if McBain had committed to that Moonveil the first time he was there, this could have been a hugely different race. But they're hard to spend, and Antlion at that spot is no joke.
Yes,
so
we find a glass helmet at the Crystal Altar inside Cave Magnus.
Yeah, no fault for the decisions made this seed. It was shockingly trolly. Like, I hadn't seen a whole lot of really trolly seeds of this flag set that I've encountered. And Groundfire did a great job with all these bait and switches on the moon.
Yes, definitely one of the rudest seeds I've seen in a while. So as McBain gets ready for his Threemus fight, let's go over some more of his races again. As mentioned, we've got Pizza and Jeebus, 6 o'clock Eastern Time on the Free Enterprise main channel. Euphoric Lemon versus Sathresh at 7 on Randomadia Prime. Zyrak and Rumblefish82 at 8:30 on RPG Limit Break. And then for the Night Owls, we've got Frankie Bones and Plumeria Knight just shy of midnight. Back on Free Enterprise.
Lots of hype matches tomorrow. McBain, meanwhile, headed to Zeromus. One more fight. Is not grinding out those final levels, by the way. We're going to see a significantly different Zeromus strategy here. I'm excited to see the variation. Maybe we see some Bahamut's cast in this fight. We definitely are going to see some Zerking.
Yeah, Zeromus just counters summons with Nuke as a regular, correct?
It depends on the phase of the fight you're in, and there's been some confusion about that, actually, on the workshop. Zilch was experimenting with that earlier and found that the script didn't seem to be as cut and dry as you might initially think. So we'll, I don't know how to answer that. I thought it depended on the phase. Apparently there's some other factors in play as well.
I guess we'll find out. Yeah, we're definitely looking at a hybrid strat from McBain with those two fighters.
Yeah, and I'm fairly certain that neither Rosa nor Rydia had hit Holy and or Nuke.
I think the Silk Web is going to come out a little early, but we'll see. Yeah, I was wrong.
Yeah, depending on your battle speed, it can be... I mean, yeah, it kind of depends on your battle speed and how many ticks get off and your relative agility and all kinds of things as to whether or not you can get that out fast enough. It looks like McBain is playing this fight at a very high battle speed, so you have to be really ruthlessly efficient. Having two Zerkers going helps a lot, because they'll be taking their attacks instantly no matter what you do. But it can be shockingly tricky to get your to get your actions off in time if you're doing Battle Speed 1 without Zerks. You know, Virus helps. It's a little bit of damage. Chip damage plus the sap. I mean, it's not doing what Nuke does, but, you know, it helps, and it's better than grinding a long time, if you can help that.
Yeah. I mean, you could technically try to outlast Threemus at this point with that dot.
Easier with an Edward and a fast-forward button.
Yeah, didn't someone do the math and say it would take like 17 hours or something?
Yeah, well, kind of. Okay, so I did this once when we first discovered that you could set it up to where sap would never wear off. I set an emulator going at fast forward with like 10 times frame skip or something, and it took 1.7 hours, so we just... Admittedly, I don't know how SNES 9X works. I'm not a programmer. I don't know if the settings I had were really doing that. But it, my theory was that it would take 10 times as long, so 17.
Fair enough, and we see a rough Big Bang coming out, taking out the Rydia and the Edge. Edge kind of a glass cannon, his magic defense is not great.
Yeah, we did see ninja shirts this seed, which someone, I already forgot who, used one the other week, and I've kind of come around to the idea. You're not going to see as many edges in the table flags, but the thing is that if you're coming in with a relatively low-level edge, I think it's fine to sacrifice the strength boost of the black belt gi for the sake of the immense magic defense and evasion of the ninja shirt, unironically.
No, totally agree. You can't deal damage if you're down.
I do know that Edge still has a claw equipped here, which will definitely be reducing the damage output here. Must have left that on for an earlier fight and forgot to take it back off.
Looks like we're not going to nerf the other Big Bang, and we're just going to try and heal through it. Makes some sense.
Hey, Cure 4 is fine. As long as Rosa stays standing afterwards, you're in pretty good shape. And Kane can't die to even a full-powered one here.
Yeah,
2,700 is that max, yeah. Well, some 2,700 max, some 2,400 max.
And I think Kane is rocking that Avenger right now, isn't he?
Yeah. It looked like McBain started this fight with the Avenger on Kane and him in slot 5, so that he could have the Avenger damage. Probably didn't have a weapon that improved upon it.
We are in phase 2. We've got that free nuke coming out.
Little rude landing on Rosa, but with her health and her defenses, seems to be shrugging it off just fine. You definitely want to heal up after that, though. Not taking risks with your white mage. Hey, there's Rocks. McBain gonna bring this home.
Yeah, get your GGs ready, folks.
Hold on, I'm working on it. I'm trying to get my GGs ready. Don't kill it yet, McBain.
Too late.
No,
There's
okay,
the flash.
there we go, got him.
I gave you a warning to get them ready, and you were still almost late.
There's so many great GG emotes, okay? It's hard to find them all. Anyway, GG's to McBain. Admirable race. Just if a few key item checks had swung the other way, would have drawn blood from the champion. Not tonight, though. We'll check with our restreamer and see if we're going to get McBain in for an interview or not. In the meantime,
while we're waiting on that, I'd like to thank our behind-the-scenes team of Groundflyer and Microcorgs doing the restream, clicking the buttons.
And huge shout out to our racers as well, putting themselves on the line, being restream for your entertainment. Make sure you give them both a follow as well.
And if you're not already on our Discord, consider joining. We've got a great community, everybody's super helpful, and we are happy to help people get started with this awesome game.
I was attempting to scroll through the race channels to find out if we were going to be... Okay, Ground Flyers were going. Yeah. Oh, there we go. We are joined by McBain. McBain, GG's.
Thanks.
Very, very close race. A lot closer than it seemed. You two were neck and neck the entire time, and then that moon just trolled the both of you so fiercely. And it really came down to who made the next to last mistake, unfortunately. But amazing race. How did you feel about the moon and its... Oh, you think that's enough? You want to go back to Earth? Huh?
Yeah, I was running out of resources, so I had to make a decision.
Yeah, you gotta do the best you can with what you've got.
Yeah, and just for what it's worth, Penguin8r's first... I don't know if you all talked this out in spoiler chat or anything, but Penguin8r's first trip to the moon took those items from the D-lunar spot, left, pursued them, didn't go quite all the way to the Earth Crystal, and then came back after that and ended up going all the way back through the moon again. Just back and forth, using some saves, reflying a few times. So... the exit spell that Rosa only gets through Zot. Are you suddenly more on team like Team Porum and Team Tella, or are you just going to commit to the walking life?
Yeah, really regretted skipping that Tella or not keeping Porum. Those warped.
Yeah.
Must have warped for 5 minutes.
Yeah, warp is faster than walking, but it still feels tedious.
Yep.
But the way you played was just fantastic, especially that early game. You were the first one underground. You were clearing those overworld spots like nobody's business. I would hate to be the person who has to play you next week in the 1-in-1 pool. Is there anyone you're hoping to play or hoping to avoid in the week to come?
No, not really. I'm ready for everyone, I think.
I mean, like I said, this race could have very easily been yours. Just the key item distribution, a little less trolly, and it's all yours. Pixel Tamer, you got any questions about what you saw tonight?
No, I think you covered most of it. Just want to say you played really well fought. Like Inven said, there were several back and forth moments where you had the lead, then Penguin had the lead, then you had the lead again, and it was really fun to watch and really fun to commentate. And thanks for letting us restream you.
Yeah, thanks. It was fun.
Any final thoughts about the race yourself, McBain?
Not really. Maybe buy more pants or cabin.
Always. The best part is eventually when the seed just decides, I'm not going to give you either one. They're not for sale this time. Good luck.
Yeah. Well, I didn't check my mini shop either.
Well, that is about everything I have. Again, thank you so much. It was an amazing race. Pleasure to watch. Pleasure to commentate. Could have swung either way. I really recommend watching it back. Like,
sure.
It was just super exciting. So many things that just back and forth, and one thing or another would have just swung it completely different. And I believe we are going to be rating Free Enterprise, although... actually, that race is about to wrap up as well. Might as well put the onus on them to figure out where we're headed next.
Yeah, someone else's problem.
Yeah.
But as a reminder, please do not talk about spoilers for this race outside of the Race Spoilers channel, because there are people who like to watch these VODs and see it for themselves.
Absolutely. So we'll get you all over to Free Enterprise and lots of racing action tomorrow. Pixel Tamer, last words?
It was great watching this race and hanging out with everybody, and I think we all had a good time tonight, and that's the thing that matters most, right?
Pretty much. All right. Good night, everyone.